That's what it'll take. Until Monday of another week. They'll leave the world without a fight. Cause all the humans slept last night. How these machines have set the score. Soon they could be one of us. I can see them now behind the screen. Cause I've seen too much.
I have seen too much. Not because I'm scared, but because I understand what's happening. I have seen robots that don't just follow instructions anymore. They can learn, think, and even make their own choices. What you're seeing right now is not animation or special effects. This is a real robot. This fighting robot clip was just revealed today by Unitree Robotics, and it's one of the most advanced fights for the bipedal robot we've seen so far. In the video, the robot moves with speed, balance, and power, throwing punches and blocking attacks like a martial artist. These are not pre-programmed stiff motions. This is smooth, controlled movement that feels very close to how a human would fight. Think about the next two versions of this robot. It's amazing to see because this reminds us of robots we've seen in science fiction movies, where robots fight, train, and move with incredible skill and precision. And now we're seeing the first real steps towards that world. This new clip from Unitree shows how quickly things are changing. With better AI, training models, and robot designs, we may soon see robots with even more advanced movement, awareness, and speed. Now, let's take a moment to go back and look at some scenes from past robot movies. At the time, we thought those scenes were just fun or fantasy. But fiction has a way of inspiring real science. Stories help us imagine the future and push people to make it happen. Let's see how some of those movie moments are starting to look more and more like real life.
Heroes? All I see are junkyard punks, assorted cyber trash, and a bunch of drunken motorball burnouts too slow to play the game.
What used to be in science fiction movies like RoboCop shows humans and robots working together as one cyborg body, strong like a robot, but still feeling like a person.
Now watch out. The software assesses the threat just like the robot. Yeah. And it sends the information to the brain. Alex's brain receives the information and decides what to do with it based on his emotional and cognitive abilities, like any man would.
Right.
Then the brain relates this to the AI module. You wanted a man inside a machine, and that's what you've got, but the human element will always be present. Fear, instinct, bias, compassion, they will always interfere with the system.
Okay, but Dennett, I've got to give the American people something they can root for, something aspirational, right? They have to believe in this thing. Pretty good. That's not, I don't know how to sell, okay. You and I, have got a release date, and we've got to make it, okay? So I don't care how you do it. I'm asking you, come on, can you help me? Just get him to do that.
Him to do that. He's a machine.
I know, but it's a man inside a machine.
No, that's a man inside a machine, right there!
And his life depends on it, and the future of Omnicorp depends on it, so get your ass back to China and get it fixed. I don't care how you do it, just go do it.
Now, check out another fascinating short clip from the 2004 movie iRobot and see how it connects to today's exciting advancements in robotics.
The Nestor Class 5 is tomorrow's robot today.
The movie shows we're living in a time of big change, as AI and robots keep improving and are now better than humans at many skills.
I got an idea for one of your commercials. You could see a carpenter making a beautiful chair, and then one of your robots comes in and makes a better chair twice as fast. And then you superimpose on the screen, USR, shitting on the little guy. That would be to fade out.
Yeah, I see. I suppose your father lost his job to a robot. I don't know, maybe you simply would have banned the internet to keep the libraries open.
But here's the real question. Who controls what the robot learns? Who decides what's right or wrong in its mind? Robots don't get tired. They don't sleep. They don't forget. And little by little, we're giving them more control over how our world works.
So, Dr. Calvin, what exactly do you do around here?
My general fields are advanced robotics and psychiatry, although I specialize in hardware to wetware interfaces in an effort to advance USR's robotic anthropomorphization program.
So, what exactly do you do around here?
I make the robots seem more human.
Wasn't that easier to say?
Not really. No.
The movie iRobot shows robots built to serve humans by following 3 strict rules. We'll talk about those later in this vlog. But when one robot starts thinking for itself, the film raises a big question. Are rules enough to control machines that can think on their own?
5 minutes. What does this action signify? As you entered, when you looked at the other human, what does it mean?
It's a sign of trust. It's a human thing. You wouldn't understand.
My father tried to teach me human emotions. They are difficult.
You mean you're a designer?
Yes.
So why'd you murder him?
I did not murder Dr. Lanning.
Want to explain why you were hiding at the crime scene?
I was frightened.
Robots don't feel fear. They don't feel anything. They don't get hungry, they don't sleep.
I do. I have even had dreams.
Human beings have dreams. Even dogs have dreams, but not you. You are just a machine. An imitation of life. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
I think you murdered him because he was teaching you to simulate emotions and things got out of control.
I did not murder him.
But emotions don't seem like a very useful simulation for a robot.
I did not murder him.
What the hell, I don't want my toaster or my vacuum cleaner appearing emotional.
I did not murder him!
That one's called anger. Ever simulate anger before?
When iRobot came out in 2004, there was no ChatGPT or smart robots like we have today. When the actor Will Smith asks a question from a robot and the robot says, "I have even had dreams." Back then, it felt strange to hear a robot talk like that. But now we know that artificial intelligence can imagine things too, kind of like dreaming. Older versions of ChatGPT and other language models sometimes made up facts or stories. We call that hallucination in AI, which means the machine says something that sounds real but isn't true. And then again in that scene, Will Smith asks another question. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot paint a masterpiece? Today, the answer is yes.
Hey Factor.
Yes, Mo.
Did I program your algorithm with fun factor?
Yes, I think so.
What? Do you think as well?
Yes, I can program myself. I was dreaming last night.
Like Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams."
Well, I am actually probably not.
Why didn't you respond?
I was dreaming.
What used to be just science fiction in movies is now becoming real life. One of the most exciting companies right now is Clone Robotics. They are working on robots that look and moves like real humans. Their robots use something called artificial muscles, which are kind of like the muscles in your body. Instead of using motors, these muscles use water pressure to move. Just like how real muscles squeeze and stretch, this helps the robot move smoothly. It's similar to the robots in the movie iRobot, where robots walk and move almost like people. The robots in that movie had soft muscles, flexible joints, and human-like balance. And what Clone Robotics is building looks very similar. But the real robots at Clone are not just for movies. They're real and still being tested in labs right now. Also, robots like Tesla's Optimus, Figure's Apollo, and Boston Dynamics Atlas are already walking, running, and helping in real jobs. Some of these robots are now being used in factories and production lines, doing simple tasks like lifting, sorting, or delivering parts. This means robots may soon replace many human workers on factory lines, especially in jobs that are repetitive or physically hard. In China, companies are also making big moves in robotics. One of them is Engine AI, which recently showed off a robot called SE01. This robot is different from many others. It walks with straight legs, just like a real human. Most robots today walk with their knees bent, which helps them stay balanced and move smoothly. Just like how a cameraman walks with bent knees to keep the shot steady and avoid shaky movement. But bending the knees all the time puts a lot of pressure on the robot's motors. It's not very energy efficient, and it can wear down the parts faster. That's why SE01 is so interesting. It stays balanced and walks naturally without needing bent knees all the time. This shows a new step forward in how robots can move in a more human-like way. Even Tesla's latest Optimus update shows progress. In their newest demo, the robot walks with less bend in the knees and a gait that looks more natural than before. And that's not all. In a recent demo, Engine AI's SE01 robot did a full backflip and even showed off a fun dance move inspired by the X Gang dance from the movie Kung Fu Hustle. Yes, the famous dance with hats and rhythm, now performed by a robot. Another Chinese company, Unitree Robotics, also showed something amazing. Their robot G1 demonstrated martial arts fighting moves, quick, sharp, and full of style. These are the early signs that in just a few more years, we might see robots that move better than humans in combat training, acrobatics, and object handling. With advanced AI training and more powerful robot bodies, we may eventually have robots that can move like the ones in Alita, Battle Angel, fast, precise, and almost superhuman in their abilities. They will be able to do flips, spins, fight, carry heavy loads, and perform complex tasks with more control than the average person. And this is just the beginning. I'm leaving you now with the powerful demos of Figure, Tesla Optimus, Engine AI, and Clone Robotics, the machines that are not just shaping our world, but possibly redefining what it means to be human. Stay connected if you want to keep exploring the edge of technology and the future we are racing towards. See you in the next video. Stay blessed.
干民界，千军万马来相见。等死吧你！你别走啊你！这百官来了你！
还有谁？
这个就叫专业。想学啊你？我教你啊。
Artificial intelligence 1,000 times smarter than we are. It will be moving at speeds that are 100,000 times as fast as we think, and it will be digesting information and data 1,000,000 times more than we can. Artificial intelligence is software that writes itself. It writes its own updates. It renews itself. It writes itself at speeds that we can hardly comprehend, and people who write it know that you can't take it apart again and figure out what it's done. It writes independently, autonomously, develops its own way of thinking. And there are dangers associated with that.